cross training for runners is low impact. So on your off running days, it's a great opportunity to be able to work your muscles and build that strength and work your lungs, but avoid the impact on your knees and your hips. So warm up, kicking, hold, main set, the slow 100s, and then sprint. That's kind of where I would organize. We're going to start with a simple warm up. During the warm up, you don't have to go fast. The purpose of the warm up is just to get loose, okay? So it's important to kind of kick your feet, reach far. Whenever you're ready, come down again. The next listen, once they reach about halfway, you can go. I'm Karina Beus from Houston, Texas. I've loved swimming. I started swimming when I was 11 years old. I was a big soccer and basketball player, and when I started out, I actually hated it. I was like, this is way too hard. So once I was actually able to understand the technique of swimming, it made it so much easier. I fell in love with it, and then a couple years later, I decided to start coaching it as well. It's about 10 to 12 years. The next part of our warm-up, what we're going to do is we're going to do some kicking. I'm going to grab you a few kickboards, okay? When you are kicking, okay, here's the big 5. We're going to kick with the kickboards. The first thing that we're going to work on right here that's important is your hip positioning in the water, okay? Your body's like a seesaw, okay? Let's pretend these are my feet. This is my head, okay? If I lift my head straight up, what happened to my feet? They sink, right? Okay? So what I want to do is to make sure that my body remains flat, horizontal in the water. That's how we float. And I want to keep my hips up, because if I let my hips sink, then my legs sink. I want to make sure I keep everything up here at the top tight, okay? So your hip positioning is up at the top of the water. When you kick, you don't need to have it big and strong. You actually want small and fast. It's called a flutter, like the flutter of a bird's wing, okay? Small and fast, think hips, knees, ankles, okay? So when you kick, start from your hip, knee, ankle, hip, knee, ankle. You don't want to just kick here. You're not going to go anywhere, okay? Get your whole leg working, so straight leg, hip, knees, ankles, hips at the top of the water, okay? Perfect. We got some kickboards right here. Everyone's going to grab one. Welcome. Kickboard. Excellent. You can borrow this one. What you're going to do is you're going to grip it near the top, thumbs on top. You can rest your elbows. Reach it out in front, okay? It's going to be a nice stretch for your shoulders as well. When you kick, you want to feel your bum at the top. You want to have those legs straight. Remember, small and fast. Your heels will be popping up out of the water. Not much more than that, okay? You're going to go down and back. And something I forgot to mention is when you swim in the lane with lots of people, think of it like you're on a race car track. Drive on the right side, and then you move back on the other side, just so you don't crash into your friends, okay? Oh my gosh. Muscles working, okay? Your head will naturally float in that water. Just let it do its thing. You're going to feel water across the back of your neck, okay? We're not burying our head in the water, just water across the back of your neck. So we're going to do a little drill, okay? It's called gliding. What you're going to do is you're going to push off the wall. Your hands are going to be here in what we call streamlined position. And I want you to have your head relax in the water. Your head should be in between your arms, and you're going to slide across the top of the water. When you're gliding, if you feel your head sinking, it's probably because your head is lifting. Remember we said we're like a seesaw? You lift your head, your hips are going to sink. So, Angela, can I have you demonstrate this one? Okay. So, Angie, what she's going to do is she's going to push off the wall, streamline, and glide as far as she can. She's going to keep her head relaxed and her hips up at the top of the water. Ready, Angie? 1, 2, 3, go. Good. So you can see that water across the back of her neck and her hips at the top. Through. Give it a shot. Ready, go. Push off, glide. Good. Excellent. swimming. When you're swimming, also to compliment you guys, your breathing is actually looking really good. We'll work on that next. After you get your breath, think about just putting that head back in that water in a relaxed position. So that's what we're focusing on this 25, is relaxing that head in the water. All right? So push off wide, head relaxed. We're swimming, head's relaxed. Get that breath, relax the head back in the water. Then we'll work on breathing down there. Excellent, guys. So that's our head position right there. Relaxed. Who remembers, where should you feel water? What's a good cue? Yes, back of your neck. A big 5 is your breathing, okay? If your head positioning is awesome, it's gonna make breathing easier. When you breathe, I saw all of you doing it, we breathe to the side. The reason why is if I lift my head straight up, the seesaw, right? My legs drop, swimming becomes hard. So what you want to do is when you breathe, is you want to keep one ear in the water and take one ear out. It's a simple little turn with your head and your shoulder, okay? They work together in this. When you go to breathe, you're gonna move this shoulder out of the way, keep this ear in the water, right? This one's chilling out of the water. Grab my breath, and I go back down into that relaxed position, okay? So one ear in, one ear out, move the shoulder with it. We're gonna do a funky little drill to help you work on it, called penguin kicking. Your hands are gonna be here to the side, you're gonna be on your stomach, and you're gonna be kicking. When you want to breathe, I'm gonna force you to move this shoulder out of the way, turn, grab your breath, and go back in. Now what you get to do is you get to have one hand up, one hand here. You can use this one as a pillow now. You're welcome, it's gonna feel easier, but the same thing. When I want to breathe, okay, so I'm kicking. When I want to breathe, I'm gonna move this shoulder out of the way, grab my breath, and go back in the water. On the way there, you're gonna have your left hand up. On the way back, you're gonna have your right hand up. You're gonna start to notice you have a favorite side to breathe. In swimming, it is totally fine to pick a favorite side. For me, I love breathing to my right side. For some of you, it might be your left. And then others, you might be like, I'm fine with either. And that's great. You get to totally choose where you want to breathe. Whatever way gets you the most oxygen. That's the goal of breathing, okay? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that breathing drill, we're gonna put it into our swimming with our arms, okay? When you are trying to breathe with your arms, think of it like you're opening a window and closing a window. So I'm swimming here, I wanna breathe to this side, I'm gonna open this window, look how this shoulder moves out of the way, I grab my breath, and then I close the window. The reason why we are practicing moving that shoulder is because there's movement in your shoulder when you breathe, okay? If you try to just leave your shoulder flat when you breathe and you're breathing into it, it's no fun, okay? So we wanna make sure as we pull away, we open the window, grab your breath, shoulder moves, grab your breath, and close the window, okay? If you have a favorite side, just try that side. If you aren't sure which is your favorite, try them both, see what you like, okay? We're gonna swim all the way down. Doesn't have to be fast. What you're doing is you're focusing on your breathing. When you breathe, open the window, one ear in, one ear out, move the shoulder, close the window, okay? Just give it a shot. We're just gonna go down and take some rest on that side, then we'll come back, okay? Most of you had a pretty good technique already. Here's a couple things to keep in mind when you're doing your arms, okay? Everyone just reach their hand just up in the air, like, woo, like you just don't care, okay? Now watch what happens when I rotate my shoulder. I'm reaching here, look at this, I rotate my shoulder, I'm reaching so much further. I'm here, and I'm here, okay? Your shoulder's pretty cool, it's a ball and socket thing. It's able to rotate pretty nicely, okay? So again, I'm here, it's flat, and then I reach. Think about putting your pinky up towards the sky. Good, you can reach just a little bit further, okay? So when you swim, there's some people that do what I call spider arms. They just go like this, okay? They look like a spider. What you want to do instead is you come over and think about reaching far, right? I got extended my shoulder, right? The shoulder pops, the shoulder reaches, and then I pull. Reach with those shoulders. Don't stay flat, reach every single arm. So we're gonna do one of my favorite drills, okay? It's called the arm glide drill. It's gonna be really nice. Think of it like you're waltzing down the pool, okay? You're gonna reach like this, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, like a waltz, okay? As you reach forward, you're extending that shoulder and trying to glide with your stroke, okay? Because what we want to avoid doing is just spinning. We want to have a nice glide to our stroke. That's going to help build our endurance a bit too. I thought this was all awesome, guys. So, to sum it up, when you are cross-training with swimming, we talked about the benefits. Remember your big 5, and then right here, your swimming workout doesn't have to be boring. You don't just have to swim back and forth and count the laps. Lots of fun things you can do. We touched a bit on a few of them today. You can do variations in the activity. Maybe you're going to do some kicking. Maybe you're going to do some pulling. Pulling is when you put one of those pull buoys, those things that float right here above your knees, and you're able to just focus on your arms and your breathing. Okay? You can also mix in different strokes. Maybe you want to swim on your stomach. Maybe you want to swim on your back. Okay? Mix in some variations there. You also can do variations in your kicking. Okay? Maybe you're going to kick on your back. Maybe on your belly. Maybe you're going to kick on the kickboard. Maybe you're going to kick with your arms up here. Or maybe you're going to try kicking on your side. Right? Variations there. The other thing you can do, like we just practiced, is variations in your speed. The nice part about this is you're going to work your muscles in different ways. Okay? You can go slow, medium, fast. Maybe you're going to start out slow and go fast. Maybe you're going to start out fast and go slow. That'll help push those lungs and work those muscles, okay? My little tip is at the end of your workout, always try to throw in 125 fast like you did. Because what that does is, here's your pressure there, your muscles are good, they feel awesome, they work hard, and then you're just going to push it past just a little bit. That little uncomfort zone, that's where you get stronger, okay? So you're going to make yourself uncomfortable right at the end, sprint it out, all right? And then have some fun, practice different things. We did some drills, that's where you do a funky part of swimming. If there's ever a part of your swimming that you're like, my breathing's getting rough, do some of those breathing drills we did today, right? You're practicing breathing, moving your shoulder, maybe you're doing one up here, okay? So lots of different things you can do to make your swimming fun as well as beneficial. Well done, give some high fives to people around you. You guys are awesome. Perfect, there's Andrew. Kate, a couple things. You ready? Talk with your coach about this a bit. Benefits of swimming.
Cross training is a great way to keep up your fitness while you take a break on your body.
Swimming's awesome because it helps develop your aerobic capacity, which is basically using oxygen efficiently in your body, which is huge for running. And swimming can help train that because you're not able to just breathe whenever you want. You have to practice that mind and body connection and control your lungs and be able to challenge your lungs as you swim. Another thing that's important with swimming is actually can help a lot with your mobility. Your shoulders become really mobile. It can help with ankle mobility, which is important for running.
Usually shoot for around 40 to 50 minutes of active swimming. So however much break I take, I add on to my time. And I would recommend, the biggest tip is not to take breaks over 1 minute. But as you're building up that swimming fitness, it's okay to take a few breaks during the swim. Injury doesn't limit you from having a good season. It's just you have to reroute and pick another path.
I'll see you before that young lady.